Is your quiver feeling droll? Pick up a sole.
Or this sole in particular, the Snow Wave. And this is one weird, unique board. Yes.
Never ridden anything quite like it.
It is a pure powder board. As you can see, reverse rocker. We rode this in powder one day. Post COVID-19 shutdown, we just used our drift boards and carried this big ass board up and rode down with it, and we had a pretty good time. And to give you a short summary, it is just different than most boards you'll ever ride because of it's nothing you ever want on a groomer day. It is just pure powder, just different than anything, and it really takes surf to the actual shape of a surfboard. Flex, Peter flexing it.
I'd say it's medium stiff.
Yeah,
medium stiff.
It's got a lot of give in the nose and tail though. It's a trip just seeing all these inserts. Anyways, yeah, just dude, this is continuous rocker, weird ass shape, just wider in the center than it is the nose and tail. And the on snow feel is loose, but in powder doesn't feel loose. You just feel like you have this big,
floaty, weird, just boaty, this very boaty feel.
Floaty, yeah.
Very floaty, boaty feel.
But it feels like a small boat. It doesn't feel like a big old, big old sailboat cutting through the water. It feels pivoty.
That tail, this tail just knifes down through the powder in the back, giving the turning radius kind of just this very quick.
And we're really only going to talk about powder here.
Yeah, because there's nothing else worth talking about.
That's all that it is. And this thing just floats. It's weird because it's got such a narrow stance. I was like, we'll just put it at 19, fuck it. And it was fine. I don't know how to break this down, but it just floated effortlessly
to the point where actually leaning back became a bit of a detriment. When I leaned back a little bit too much, I kind of just the tail just dug in so deep, and I
really did,
coming down a pretty nice little steep section, which is to say that it's so floaty you could actually put some weight into the front and get a kind of a more fun, interesting powder feel.
Yeah.
If you're looking for just this kind of magic, this weird...
Yeah. It's good powder, too.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you want to take this out on a resort day where you're... where you have to kind of weave through powder that's been displaced down to the groomer. This is going to be tough because you can't really turn it like you would a traditional snowboard, like driving into a turn and leaning into the edge. You basically have to skid your turns like you're a beginner to get this down, and that's difficult. You want this for pure powder riding, and when it gets messy, you have to put it away and get something else.
And if you want to turn some heads, this is such a unique board. People are going to look at this. They're going to ask you what it is. You're going to get...
Yeah.
It draws a special attention. And honestly, I didn't want to try it necessarily. I didn't want to, BC was like, we got to try it. And I was like, man, we got to hike all the way up this mountain just to get this one ride. But when coming down the mountain, I honestly had a blast in this thing. And I was very pleasantly surprised and super stoked. And I could definitely...
Aren't you glad that I made it uncomfortable?
Yeah.
For a while till you actually rode it?
Yeah, and then being a weird guy that I am, I could totally see myself taking this board up again on a powder day, on a real good powder day.
And here's the thing boards. With Soul boards is most of his boards are very powder friendly to start with. So when you add a board like this is just for your perfect, super deep, pristine, clean powder day. And then for the rest of the times, you can ride the other Soul boards and you can have a time. And they'll float really well. So this is more for these are special occasion boards.
Or for the type of rider who's just looking for something to just, a total paradigm shift. You gotta pay the petrol toll to get into this boy's soul. Don't use that. Don't use it.